What is Jay-Z's real net worth? Everybody knows the story of how Jay-Z and Warren Buffett had lunch together about 10 years ago, and later went back to Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway office. Can you believe it? Almost more than a decade has passed and Jay-Z is worth over $1 billion. The first hip-hop artist billionaire to do so. Now, you might think his fortune was attained through just music, but he is expanding his empire through liquor, art, real estate, and partial stock ownership of mega companies such as Uber. Now, how can just an average kid from the Brooklyn housing projects do so? Remember, before he was a talented musician with 14 #1 albums, 22 Grammy Awards, and $500 million in pre-tax earnings, he was actually a street drug dealer. I guess the breakthrough came when he realized it's better to build a business for himself than comparing and continuing to build a brand for someone else. Let's get into the juicy details. He started Rocawear in 1999 and sold it in 2007 for a mere $204 million. He owns Bacardi and Tidal, a music streaming service. The notorious Swiss Beats even was once quoted saying, "If he's a billionaire, now imagine what he's about to be, because he's only started." That's how inspirational and talented the music industry thinks Jay-Z is. Think of it like this. He owns 100% of the company Armand de Brignac. Now, if you've never heard of this company, it's those $300 poppin' champagne bottles with the ace of spades everyone purchases at the nightclubs. Now, off to his next endeavor. $220 million comes from his investment portfolios with an ownership of Uber that he only purchased for $2 million. Now it's worth, again, a staggering $70 million. Can you believe it? How successful he was, and because of this success in Uber, he purchased another $5 million of investments that he gave to Travis Kalanick for even more ownership. Next up, $100 million of his net worth comes from the company Uzi. It's a really popular cognac that contains a joint venture with the world-renowned Bacardi rum out there. Now, this investment is growing at 80% annually. Can you just imagine the profits and what an investment this was? Now, interestingly, in 2015, Jay-Z made a very interesting bid to purchase a Scandinavian streaming service for almost $60 million. Although this company wasn't widely known to the public, his investment is now north of $100 million. So $40 million profit there. Since it gained mass popularity and investors came along such as Kanye West, Calvin Harris, and Beyonce all joined the venture. Now, I'm sure you've heard of Roc Nation. This company represents some of the most popular rock stars in the entertainment industry, such as Kevin Durant, Todd Gurley, as well as managing Rihanna and J. Cole. $75 million of Jay-Z's net worth is attributed directly to Roc Nation. To make matters even more interesting, $75 million comes from a 2004 startup in Def Jam Records. Now, this record label is what really launched Jay-Z's career and gave him that spark to explode money-wise. Can you believe it? Jay-Z has over 1 billion streams a year. We believe that this investment alone sparked his entrepreneurial spirit, and it's what gave Jay-Z a thirst to explode in the business world, as profits out of Def Jam were just too in sight for him to hold back. Now, for all of you art lovers out there, $70 million of assets came from his rare art collection. He even stated once in a song Picasso Baby that he has a basket hanging over the corner of his kitchen. It was reported that Jay-Z purchased that painting for $4.5 million in 2013. You might think he's bragging in his music about his riches, but to me, that's the kind of role model I want. And lastly, who can forget about his vast real estate empire, worth shy of $50 million? $88 million went to a Bel Air mansion, $26 million went to an East Hampton mansion, and $7 million went to a Tribeca penthouse he purchased in 2004 in New York. A true hip-hop mogul that started from the streets of Brooklyn and ended up with $1 billion portfolio from all of his investments. The best of all, it's in all different industries. Jay-Z is definitely a role model, and for all of you in the entertainment world, the best of the best. Please comment below on what you think about this video and any thoughts on Jay-Z and his endeavors.